Okay guys, we got it in. We got one in, I should say. I want to go over it with you. I'm crazy excited. I hope you're as excited as I am, and I hope you get to learn something on this video. And you know, I hope it answers any questions that you might have. But without further ado, I'm crazy excited. Here it is. The 2019 truck of the year, the Ram 1500 Limited, and this thing is amazingly cool. And this one is very well opted. In fact, it's only really missing three things to my knowledge, I believe. It's missing the Ram boxes on the bed, it's missing the e-torque engine, and it's missing the tow group. And that's it. Every other box has been checked, and I want to go over some of that with you, what this truck can actually do, and kind of what makes it Limited unique compared to the rest of the Ram truck. So let's start. I guess we'll start right up front here. So this grille that you see here, this is all exclusive to the Limited trim level. Now, if you look around here, every one of the new Rams has this upper brow here that stretches along the front of the truck, but for the Limited specifically, you see this lower brow down here that goes up underneath the light. That's specific to a Limited, as well as this grille here. So if you look at any other trim level, Bighorn, Tradesman, Laramie even, this piece of the grille will actually continue to go down to where this molding is, and it'll continue all the way around. So this is, again, specific to the Limited, as well as, like I said, this going into the light, which again means these lights here are specific to the Limited as well. Now, if you look, you have LED wraparounds, both upper and lower. And I don't know how well you can see here, but if you look inside here, you're going to see some writing. Basically, what those are is it talks about what type of light it is, as well as the rotation, so interior and exterior. So these will actually turn with you as you go around corners. And then you have your Ram LED Signia over here that you can get on all the LED lighting groups. But those are the rotational ones up here that you see, and this whole light fixture is specific to the Limited. Another thing that this truck has that you can get on other models, let's see if we can get inside the grille here. Now, if you see these little flaps back here, those are active grille shutters, and that's for aero and cooling. So those will actually open and close as you're driving, again, to adjust for cooling, as well as aerodynamics. And while we're on the topic of aero, one thing I've talked about these trucks before, and I'm going to talk about it again because I think it's amazing. If you look at the front profile of this truck, if you look, the bottom bumper here doesn't protrude out like it used to. This is all basically straight up and down. If you look at even the last generation, which ironically enough I have one right here. So if you look at the front of this truck, you can see how this whole bumper sticks out like that, and that's aerodynamically, that is not good. I mean, for looks and stuff like that, it looks great, but aerodynamics is not it's not friendly. So this truck, when they designed it, like I said before, they focused really on the aero. And again, as I've said before, which I'm really proud of, this truck is more aerodynamic than a Bugatti Veyron, that was the fastest car in the world at one point or another, and we have that beat, which is insanely cool. Another couple things I'd like to point out, if you look, you have your parking sensors here that actually serve two purposes. Obviously number one is for parking. Number two is something I'm going to show in a little while, which also includes this up here. This is your, right under the A here, that's your forward-facing camera. Okay, you have your chromed tow hooks down here. And then you have your rear diffuser down here, also for aero. So a couple other cool things that you can get. Tow hooks and stuff like that are not Limited specific. You can get them on other trim levels. Move along the side of the truck. Laramie and above, you get your fender flares here. So all the L's, Laramie, Longhorn, Limited, you get your fender flares. Something I've talked about before on this truck that I do like, they did keep your, the Ram, the hood over fender. So if you look right down this line here, you can see you still have that hood over fender design that kind of made Ram stand out from everybody else. Another thing I really like that they did, they incorporated that hood over fender with this body line that continues through the entire line of the truck. And I absolutely, as you know, I love incorporation, so that looks good. So even if you look from the back all the way down, you can see that line flowing all the way smooth. And I think that's just, it's a beautiful look. It looks fantastic. Moving into here, some of the badging you have. Of course, you have your Ram and Limited. It's going to tell you all over the place that this is the top of the line. Something else that's, I'll get into in a little bit, but I'm going to show you kind of how it works right now. Is if you look right underneath this mirror, right here, that is a camera. And that is for a type of view camera that you have on the inside that I'll show you when we get in there. Moving around the truck, you have your 22-inch wheels, limited specific. If you can see inside here, this is your active air suspension, which does a couple cool things. I'll show you those also in a minute. Moving along back here, if you look at your tail light, if you look at this piece right here, this does not light up. What this is actually a radar for your side blind zone alerts. So what that means is if you're driving along the highway, wherever you might be, if there's a car in the blind spot of the truck, in the mirror up here, you have a little triangle that'll light up to let you know, hey, don't move over, you have somebody there. And it's a collision avoidance system, and it works extremely well. Also back here you have more parking sensors, which again serve dual purpose, just like the fronts, which we will get into a little bit later. You have your new exhaust tips that are 4 inches now instead of 3 inch like they were on the last model. So a little bit bigger, a little bit better grumble. You have your 2-step bumper here. Backup camera. Of course, the big belt buckle ram, which I absolutely love that. More limited badging to let you know that it is a limited. So that's the rundown on the outside, and I'm going to show you a couple cool things that you can do before we get in the truck. One thing is the passive entry exit. So as long as you have the key here, put that in your pocket. Whether you're getting in and out of your vehicle, the door here, you take this button, you push it. See the lock right there, locks it. Now all you have to do is put your hand in the door cup, and now it's unlocked. You can open it up. So you never actually need the key, which is, again, something that's really cool. Something else that's standard on the limited trim when you open the door, power running boards, which is a nice feature. You don't have to have the look of the running boards out all the time. So when they actually suck up into the truck, you still have that good, clean, unobstructed view of the side of the truck, but you still have the functionality of the side step, which again is something I think is important on a truck. As you know, I'm an aesthetics kind of guy, so I like how everything looks, and I think that keeps everything looking nice and clean. On the subject of the key, another couple cool things I'll show you. So on your key right here, you have all these buttons. Of course, lock, unlock, and this is your remote start. These two here are what I'm going to go over right now. So this one is actually regarding the suspension. So right now the truck is in off-road too, so you actually have 5 different positions for the suspension. You take this button right here, push it 2 times, and then what you'll actually begin to see is you'll see the truck actually lowering. And what it does is it camels, and what that means is the front lowers, back lowers, front lowers, back lowers. Go back through it. See that tightening right up there? And what this will do is it brings it from wherever you are for a ride height, and it brings it right back down to what's called entry-exit mode. And what that is exactly how it sounds. It makes it easier for you to get in and out of the truck. I think it's amazing that you can use that from the key, and our air suspension is specific to us, and we have the best record of any manufacturer with our air suspension. So now you can see how tall it was. Now you can see this thing hunkered right down there, which, well, I mean, it looks great, of course, but the functionality, again, is there as well. Entry exit makes a big difference. And another thing that it helps for is the other button that I want to show you. And if you look at that picture, you can probably figure out what it is. But if you're carrying something heavy, you can drop it down from the key fob. And then if you're walking towards the back of the truck, take this button right here, you hit it 2 times, and you got your tailgate drop. So you can also do this from inside the truck. You can do it from here, and it's easy drop. And as you can see, it didn't come crashing down. It came down nice and easy, which you see on actually a few different trucks now. That's not something that's specific to us. Then you have full access to this. This one specifically is a 5'7" bed with the spray-in bed liner. So that's the big rundown of the outside of the truck that I wanted to give you. So what I'm going to do is I will do a second part of the inside of the truck, which I'll attach so you guys can kind of see everything. But that is that's the outside rundown of the truck of the year, and now we'll go to the inside.